对，刚讲现在就 record 了，OK。然后我
忘记。
们基本上我们考虑了之后，应该会 upload 到 YouTube 会比较方便，我们再把那些 link 全部统整给他们。所以也就是说，我们没有跟到我们第一堂课，第二堂课进来，他也是可以复习第一堂课。
嗯嗯嗯，那这个 link 也会在我们这个官网那边嘛
哎，再看主办方要放哪里，我们就是会 upload
？OK，
上去，然后再给你们。
好。
对对对。
哎，Samuel 跟 Andy 还是学生吗？
不是啦，我在工作。
在工作很
哦，
好。
啊，我还是学生。
好，这个志源又是学生又是在工作啊。
啊，是吗？
哦，现在已经差不多学生进来的差不多了，应该。
OK，那你看什么时候开始就开始了哈
对，下面你掌握一下人数一下，大概是有给你 host，现在给你 host。因为现在学生感觉比较喜欢是看 recording，所以应该不会9点爬起来周末。OK。
为什么我
所以
点开 link 是
网
broken 的？哎，
网络的方便就是那么好了，哎，所以那些什么电视节目啊、电影啊，全部都是用串流的，哎，
对，也可以，
为什么？
因为没有录影，学生可以跟着他们的节奏去上课啊。最
是
主要这堂课是给他们有一个基础入门的认识，因为很
介
多，
绍了哈，主要
对对，
着重在
算是
介绍，
introduction 为主。
哎，那个这个平台它教学也就是学生做过练习之后，他自己是个人的进度嘛，并不是大家的进度嘛，对不对？
对，是个人的，所以基本上我们因为今天是第一天，第一天，等下老师也会跟学生解释啊，
嗯，
会跟学生解释，今天我们会有开放一些题目，算是第一堂的体验课。那接下来我们还是会有教学，都可以进来把后续有一些题目可能就要用 subscribe 的方式，对，
OK，
但是平台还是能 log in，还是可以上去练习都可以的，只是它可能
嗯，
题目就没有开放而已，某些题目。OK，9:03，时间差不多，但是现在直播人数我看一看，看一看 WhatsApp group 有没有人在问。
为什么我开的那个 link 的话，那个直播 link 它是 link broken 呢？哎，this content isn't available at the moment。
FB 的啊。
啊，
把我们的 FB 是有在 streaming 的，或者在 streaming 可能那个 link 有问题而已，再更新多一个 link，你把我们的用回我们的 page 的 link 放过去就好。
呀
放上面那个就是直接放我们 page 的 link，你有看见在上面那边？目前人数 streaming 是20位，有在慢慢增加。对，可能有些学生还没有睡醒，所以学长，你看大概什么时候可以开始？因为现在大概20几位在线上，
现在是9:04，
还没有睡醒，所以学长，你看大概什么时候可以开始？因为现在大概20几，哎，有回
有，
音，谁
是
开着？有
是是
回音，
哦，sorry
，echo，
sorry，不好意思。
对。
还是我们多等个5分钟，
可以可以，那我
因为第
们这五
一堂课，哎，
分钟可以在这里闲聊有关我们接下来这个的这整个12堂课，我们大概会做的事情啊。那学生
好
们也可以顺便听一下。对，
，OK，
对，也顺便跟主办单位去，也跟其他的在线的学生老师去报告一下，我们这个12堂课基本上会是一个 C++ 的 very basic 的课程，所以是否一些没有基础，或者说可能才学了一点的，OK，刚想要入门，那却不知道哪里入门，那基本上我们会提供这个教学，还有就是我们会提供平台的资源。也就是说，学生基本上可以用 Coding Bar 的平台去做一些他们的 code 的练习，那基本上是不用下载什么环境啦，就是我们都是在 on the cloud，都可以用 cloud，所以希望这12堂课里面可以，我们的目标不是让学生变得很厉害，是让他去了解什么是 programming，什么是 C++。对，那如果是有一些比较可能有一点基础，那我们可能6月多会开一个更进阶的班。以比赛为导向的。所以这个课程最主要的宗旨是让大家提高大家对于 programming 的兴趣啦，尤其是 C++，很多人刚开始入门，哎，都看不懂这个，看不懂那个，可能一报名那个兴趣就不被磨灭了。刚开始的过程，所以算是一个我们引导的方式啊，用引导的方式让他们开始接触 C++ 这个东西。对，然后看学长还有什么要分享的吗？补充，大概我们再等多到9点10分嘛，对不对？
是是是。
对对对，人数在看，我们也有请客服发在 WhatsApp group 的。
嗯，
OK，
我们是你也有参与嘛哈？去
做的
年的时候，
Samuel 那里播到那个声音。
哦是，
啊，sorry，
像过去我们也在尝试，以前也没试过嘛。过去3年都是用老师在上面，学生在下面哈，那个效果可能就没有那么好，因为程度不一样。那用
对
这个 platform 的是根据个人的一些难易程度，是呃从零然后进阶，大家比较能够，因为每个人的学习的速度、理解能力全部不同嘛，哈、所以我们改变这个方式可能是比较好啊，比较过去的一个方法。那我们也是在做实验嘛，哈，今年也是谢谢 Coding Bar 啦，哦，能够帮这个忙啊。那当然资源也知道，我们今年的那个资格qualification 的那个 test 也改变用这个self learning 的一个 platform 的成绩。那至于成绩的要求不晓得你们资源有没有看过？就是是我们这边来做定一些标准比如说你答这个平台的多少题的就可以有资格了。主要就是让学生如果线上有学生听着的话，就是说你自己会有去评估自己的能力啦，啊，通过这些一步一步这样子来学的话，可能会比较好。那过去3年我们在做这个教学完之后就考试，很像学校的那种课堂的一个方式也会对一些刚刚想要入门的学生就会被吓到了一下这样子了。然后对那些已经有基础的就觉得很容易只是我们用这个资格考的这个方法来鼓励学生自己去学了。不过现在有这个自学平台是会比较好。好，谢谢。
对，所以我们这次最主要也是提倡翻转式学习，也就是说我们不，因为大家毕竟学 coding 的那个程度都不一样啊。
是。
所以我们希望透过这个 general 的课程，那有些学生可能这个时间他可能有事情也在睡觉，OK，我们是透过把直播也录影下来，那他可以根据自己弹性的学习时间，那甚至是弹性的一些能力，他可能可以从第3章开始学习，第5章开始学习。那最主要是我们强调在这边，我们 coding bar 强调就是翻转式学习了，对，希望透过翻转式学习让学习 coding 可能第1没有那么枯燥。第2能尽量的配合到大家的步调。对对
因为现时现日你要凑在一起是蛮难的那个上课，当然你去学校上课是没办法，因为课已经排了而且你在当学生你是固定的 你学生本来就是要去上课嘛，但是像这种课外的，真的是有点困难，因为大家要凑在同一个时间上去上课是蛮困难，所以这样子的一个平台是，到目前为止，我想的是比较有效的一个学习方法了。
对，我们也
好
希望这样能让学生有办法，就是能尽速的 pick up 啦。对，因为我们
，OK，
也知道1000多个可能报名者中，可能有50%可能是他可能想要有兴趣，但是他可能还没有基础。
是，
对，让他们来有个入门的方法。好，
好，
9点10分了，
我们可以
那
开始了。
对对对，那先把时间交给我们的赵建强会长，看有什么要跟学生们统一说的交代，或者说做一个介绍的。对，
好，
我们的主办单位，
好，哎，请问一下线上有多少人啊？现在
目前24。
24位不晓得有没有老师了哈。OK，
对，
那我就简短介绍一下了哈。诶，呃，各位老师各位同学，大家早安哈。那感谢你们了，星期天一大早大家都来一起学习这个线上的学习的一些课程。那我先自我介绍一下，我叫赵建强是来自台湾大学马来西亚校会是现任的会长是前几届的这个竞赛委员会的主任委员So 全国中学生的城市竞赛呢，今年已经来到第4年了。那台大办这个活动也除了比赛之外，其实是鼓励同学不一定是理科生尤其是零基础的来学习这个城市设计。那也今天就会有这样子的一个课程的设计。那一般上的比赛呢，都是很厉害的学生去参加那些可能没有一些基础的，可能就会却步。所以我们办这些学习的课程，主要是鼓励不管是理科生还是完全不懂的，但是因为城市设计也不是学来做比赛对你日后的不管是在功课做研究都会有非常好的一个帮助。那过去3年因为我们今年是第4年，我们都是用老师在上面讲学生在上面听，会面对一些问题，就是说程度低的学生跟不上，程度高的学生就没兴趣。那我们自己本身也在学习因为我们也不是专家coding bar 可能是专家了因为他们都是在做教学的。所以我们也想方设法，改变一些教学的方式，更有效的让同学能够掌握这个城市设计的一些基础。那比赛呢，只是一个标杆，让同学有一个目的性去检验自己的一个学习的成果了。那从过去的老师教学到现在第4年，我们改变就是用学生自我学习，因为根据自我的程度step by step 一步一步的去评估自己到哪一个程度。那我想跟各位同学分享一下，在前面2年呢，2011、2022年2021、2022，我们很多学生是有兴趣的但是他完全不懂这个城市设计，他们自己去付费到一些平台去学，那最终据我了解，他可能2、3个月里面就可以掌握一些技巧，然后也参加比赛，而且会获奖那是在前几年。那希望是同学们可以用这样子的一个方式，让自己跟自己比赛啦，不是跟其他人比赛这样子。我们也非常感谢这个线上平台Coding Bar 的热情赞助然后来介绍这个给同学们这个想入门但是又不知道怎么办的一个机会。当然这是非常基础的。 那已经有一些基础的同学也可以从零开始当做复习自我评估。那校友会呢也有提供其他一些免费的平台让像 Solon 啊、Coforce 啊这些平台来自我学习。今年我们也改变这个资格考的方式。如果有新参加的同学，可能不知道我们这个比赛的制度了那我们比赛呢是首先要取得一个资格考，那资格考通过之后，才可以组队3人一组来进行比赛。那我们在8月底会有一个预赛就3个是线上的。那最后会有60队会录取进入决赛。今年的决赛我们也确定在森美兰的芙蓉中华读中作为总决赛的一个场地。那希望到时会跟同学们在实体上面见面了So 今年呢，我们也改变这个资格考的录取方式，就是以这个学习平台的一个成绩或者是一个学习的路径，我们有设定一些基本的一个 requirements 只要符合你就可以通过资格考了是这样子的一个情况。So 那也我也不讲很多因为细节那个比赛规则你们就参加到时去参考我们定出的一些比赛规则跟简章。那在这里非常谢谢Colin Bar让我在这边可以介绍台大校友会在办这个活动，也谢谢他们的一个热情的赞助。那刚才我们这个课程呢，这12堂课的非常基础的那如果同学要有深入的一个学习呢，可以选择性的跟 Coding Bar 的一个平台来做一个衔接。好，谢谢祝大家假日快乐学习快乐，谢谢。
好，谢谢我们的赵建强会长。OK，那我这里也来自我介绍一下好了，我也是台大校友之一。OK，所以我的背景是台大的资讯工程学系，也就是我们讲的 Computer Science and Information Engineering。那跟大家解释一下为什么会有 Coding Bar 这个东西啦，因为其实我自己本身以前开始学程式的时候，走了很多冤枉路，因为大家都说，哎，学程式 Internet 找一找就可以了，但是其实程式很广，它的范围，那要怎么去找到专业化、系统化的学习，那是很重要的，因为你可以把一个程式跑起来，不代表你可以把一个程式写好。所以，我们这里也希望透过一个比较专业化甚至系统化的方式，让刚入门的学生可以一步一步的，透过引导式的方式带他们去正确的学习什么叫做这堂课叫 C++ 嘛，C++ 入门。那可能有些学生在这里，有一些基础了，那你可能想要挑战更高阶的一些题目或者课程，那可能在这里没有办法满足你所需要的，没关系，那你可以联络我们。OK，那因为我们的题库有非常多，因为这堂课要说明是 for very basic 的学生，我们6月中可能再考虑再开一个进阶班，如果人数有达标。那因为我看现在线上接近30位，所以各位老师或者同学们，如果在线可能有一些同班同学还没有睡醒的，OK，赶紧去打给他，call 给他，因为第一堂课很重要，因为我们的老师会开始教你们如何去操作我们的平台，因为我们平台有非常多的 resource 可以协助你们如何去把你们这12堂课的一些练习的一些教材去把它去掌握，还有一些知识点。那所以希望大家等等能享受你们教学。那有什么 feedback 欢迎，因为你们都有在那个群组或者在这个 chat box，欢迎直接打出来，不要害羞。OK，然后我们的老师都是双语啦，等等虽然因为会用英语教学，但是我们老师都是可以明白双语，所以你用华语或者英语，甚至是马来文也没有问题。OK，那我也不啰嗦太多了，把时间交回给我们老师 Samuel 老师。OK。
Hey, hello everyone. Good morning. So as you can see, this class is supposed to be conducted in English, but if you can understand my English speaking, you can always ask in Chinese, or if you are not comfortable express yourself in English, you can always type in Chinese in the chat box. So let's get started. First, Wendy, can you share me the share screen access? Okay. Please give me a minute. I'm going to restart and share my screen.
志远啊，这课的一堂课是多久时间？
2个小时到11点。所以接下来的其实也跟大家如果在线上我们规划是这样的，我们会2个小时，前面1个小时，因为今天第一堂课会比较不同，那后续的课就是前面1个小时我们会帮大家去上课上一些 general 的 knowledge，然后第2堂课的话我们会专注在解题，前面1个小时我们会专注在 knowledge transfer，然后还有第2堂课就是会专注在解题啦。
Hello guys, can you see my screen now? So everyone can see my screen, right? Okay, that's good.
Yes. Yeah, it's very clear.
Okay. So first, a little short introduction about this course. This is a fundamental in C++ programming course. It's designed to lead you guys into programming, to teach you guys fundamentals about programming and specifically about C++ programming. And a little bit of introduction about myself. My name is Samuel, you can call me Samuel. And I'm a computer science graduate from Beihang University in China. And I have few years of industry working experience in building mobile apps, web apps, and websites. And today I will be your instructor, and I will always be your instructor throughout this course. And also we have a TA. Our TA is Andy. Okay. And before we start, I know that you guys already should have a coding bar account, right? How about you try to log into your coding bar account right now? So using our coding bar platform, you'll be able to access a lot of resources and like homeworks, problem sets, our handouts, and there's an online IDE, online playground for you as well. So let's try to log into our coding bar platform. Our coding bar platform is at app.codingbar.ai. So if any one of you have questions, have problem accessing this website, please let our staff know, like in the group. So enter a account here in the login page and enter a password and click on login. After that, you will be able to log into our coding bar page. So here, as you can see, your class is NSSPC C++ basic trial class. Click on this in progress class. And this is your first chapter. Inside first chapter, there's a couple of classroom exercise. And later you guys can try to like fill up these questions and finish these questions. And also there is a handout session. Click on this and download your supplementary materials. This is the same PDF as what I will be presenting later. And also there will be a homework session, but right now for this first chapter, there's no homework, okay? And other than that, there is also a playground. This is what I'm talking about just now about our online IDE or online playground. Click on the upper right side of your screen. There's a playground, right? Click on it. And then you can change your programming language to C++. And let's say you enter something and run it. Yeah, so this is an online playground. Most of the time for demo purpose, maybe we'll use this online playground. And please try out yourself. It's really useful. This is all about setting up your account in Coding Bar and accessing all the resources in Coding Bar platform. If you have any questions, please ask our staff. You can ask either in the WhatsApp group or you can ask in the Facebook live streaming chat box. Okay, that's all about setting up our Coding Bar platform, and let's get started on our class. So first, maybe you have a question in your mind right now. Why should you learn programming language? Why you like wake up so early today to listen to some guy talking about programming language, talking about C++? It sounds super boring. So why should you learn programming language? So it might be multiple factors. First, maybe it's for education. If you learn it now, you get yourself ready for college or university. It's really a good privilege. So during my time, I don't really have access to this kind of resources. So like no one leads me into programming. So you guys are really fortunate to have like Coding Bar providing free lessons for you guys to get ready to study, like to lead you into this programming language thing. Also, maybe it's for your own interest. Maybe you give your chance away to try on this programming language thing since it's all the hype right now, right? And you can build your own stuff. Maybe you want to build something. You want to develop your own software, your own mobile apps, right? Your AI apps or your mobile apps. Maybe it's for money incentive. Since programmer has above average earnings in market. So there are many factors for it. But actually, I think everybody should learn a programming language because it teaches you how to think. So what actually is a programming language? It is a type of language that acts as a bridge for communication between you and the computer. So you can think of it like a recipe. So human look at the recipe and we cook our food based on the recipe, right? So programming language is like a recipe for the computers. Computers read your recipe and execute the program based on this recipe. And this recipe is your programming language, your script, your program. Using this programming language, we can send commands and instructions to computer for performing actually any kind of actions, like processing your data and calculations, and doing all kind of stuff like rendering this screen, like rendering a game, like rendering your game, something like that. And comes to our ultimate question. So why should we pick C++? There are actually a lot of programming language in the market, like available. For example, there is PHP, like JavaScript, Java, C++, Python. But why we pick C++? So let me have a short explanation on this. Although there are a lot of programming language in the world, but you should always pick the language that suits you the best. If you want to build something really fast, you want to build something for AI, maybe your go-to language is Python. Or if you want to build a website really fast, maybe your go-to language is JavaScript. If you want to build a server really fast, maybe your go-to language is still JavaScript or Java. But if you want to build something very, very high performance, like the performance is super fast, then your go-to language will be, most of the time, it will be C++. The characteristics of C++ is that its execution is super fast, and it's designated language for majority programming competition. So for example, during competitive programming, right, when the system execute your program, they actually check on the time of execution. If your execution time exceed their limit, they will throw error like time limit exceed, and you fail on this test case, right? So being performance is a very important characteristics. And C++ has a characteristics of being fast. So it is one of the reason we pick it for our programming competition. Also, C++ can be an object-oriented. Also, C++ is an object-oriented language, so it can be used in object-oriented programming. What does it mean? This is a bit out of our scope in this course. So maybe when you are building a web server or building something more complicated, like building a game engine, then you will need to do something like object-oriented programming. And it is also a high-level programming language. What does high-level programming language means? It means something like there is a lot of library available that let you do a lot of stuff. So for example, Python, JavaScript, Java also are high-level programming language. So, but we won't touch much of it in this course. What we are teaching in this course is some basics about C++, about its grammar, grammar. Grammar is something we use to describe natural language, but in programming, our grammar is actually syntax and semantic. So don't worry. Let's get into it later. So to give you a perspective, your Chrome engine is actually built in C++, or your Word document or Skype are all built in C++. Or a lot of games also are built in C++. And other than that, like AI and blockchain is all the hype right now, right? For example, most of the AI, underneath the AI program, their engine is actually all in C++. For example, the API for connecting your program with NVIDIA is the GPU, is also in C++. And other than that, for example, blockchain. If you have heard of Bitcoin, the core functionality of Bitcoin is also written in C++. Why they write their program in C++? Because C++ is more performant, it's faster in execution. That's why they pick C++. So as you can see, C++ is super powerful. I hope this intrigue your interest in C++. Let's get started to write your first C++ program. So this leads you to all the possibilities. First, how about we try to execute this program first? Let's get hands-on. So you can actually try to open up your coding bar platform and click on the playground. Okay. And let's type this step by step. First, we import something. What is this something? What does include means? Include actually means importing something. What does import means? Import means you are using some library that is written by others. For example, this IO stream is a library written by others. What is a library? Library is some code written by others. So basically, others already written some very useful code, and we can reuse it. So we reuse it by writing this script called include, and the library is called IOStream. After that, write your main program. Integer main. So we are going to print out hello world and return 0. If you don't understand any of this, don't worry. I will explain them one by one later. After you type all your program, right, you can click on play button to run your program. Sure, you can type any arbitrary thing here and type run again. So the output will appear here on this box. See, hello world. Let's get to the detail. So this first line include IO stream. The IO stream is a header file. So this file, as I have described just now, is some code that is written by others. And it's a very generalized code which can be reused by you. So we just include it in our program. IO stream is a program that is a header file or library or program for input and output. So what is I/O? So I stands for input, out stands for output. Stream, what does stream means? Stream is like you are consuming your input and output. So this is called IO stream. And after that, there's your main function. Main function is the main body of the program. In C++, always your program has to have a main function. The main function will be the function that will be the first to be executed. So always remember, after you import something, even if you are not going to import something, you always have to have this main function. This is your entry point to your program. And writing main function is very simple. You write int with a space and a main, and then this, what is this called? Parenthesis or bracket? Parenthesis. And these are curly braces. And what does int stands for? Int stands for integer. Integer is a number lah. Is the max concept is integer. And inside your main function, you can write your programs. So for this example, our programs is outputting a string, which is called hello world. So as you can see just now, hello world is being printed on the screen just now, right? So what does cout means? Cout means that we are printing something into the screen. Out means output. So we are printing hello world to the screen. And after that, we return 0. This is a convention. And your main function always returns 0. 0 means your function executed successfully. So as a template, in your C++ program, you always must have this structure: integer main, which is your entry point, and then you write any kind of script here, and then after that, at the end, you return 0. This is the structure of a C++ program, the most basic structure. And this std cout is our printing function. What does std means? It stands for standard. It's a standard library from C++. So this is standard C output, and then printing the hello world to the screen. So there's some more description down here, which is talking about you should always return 0 at the end of your program, at the end of your main function. Okay, so there's a small task here. Based on this program, change the output so that it is printing out hello world with an exclamation mark. So let's do that. Actually, I already did. This is the original program. Just add an exclamation mark to the end of it and click on play. Now this is being printed on the screen. And this, I think this is also one of our problem sets. So later you guys can click on this classroom exercise and finish these exercises. One of these is related to this printing out thing. And next, we are going to talk about our cout, which stands for C output. How do we let our computer show the words that we want to show? By calling cout. Cout actually is something written by some other guy. So we just reuse this. We reuse this function. This is a function. What is a function? Function also is a collection of code written by others. So in C++, std is a library and it stands for standard. And this library provides a very useful function, a printing function called cout. Whenever you are trying to call this cout function, remember to put two colon in between, a double colon. That means you're referring to a function inside the standard library. After that, type this two lesser than arrow, and then you can print out any string. The double less than symbols are used to connect the content to be output. So this function is connected to this string, and this string will be output. Also, you can change your string like this. So let's try it in our platform. Click on play. See, it works. What if you don't want to put a space here? You want to put a space separately. So remove the previous space and we put the space here. Play. Also, it works the same. So you can chain your string by breaking them and concatenate them by using this double less than symbol. This less than symbol is actually it's less than symbol. And also there is one thing very, very important. In all your C++ statements, always end it with a semicolon. So there is a typo over here. Should be this, a semicolon. See my script, always in my program, I always end it with a semicolon. What if you didn't include a semicolon? What will happen? Let's try it. So it throws error. Oh. It is telling that it's expected semicolon before return. So this is quite user friendly. So type a semicolon here. And it works again. So very, very important. Remember to put your semicolon. This is one of the beginner's mistakes. Everyone make these mistakes. So even me, I make these mistakes multiple times, a lot of times. And it took a lot of time for me to debug. So always remember, put a semicolon after your statements. And always remember to wrap your string between a double quote. As you can see in our previous example, see, always I wrap my string with a semicolon. Because semicolon tell this program that this sequence of characters is a string. So only by writing this semicolon, then our program can understand that this is a string. Otherwise, our program won't know that this is a string. Our program won't know that this is a string. They thought maybe this is some program. So remember to wrap your string around this semicolon. The double quotation mark. And what is a statement? Just now I'm telling you guys that you should always end your statement with a semicolon, right? But what is a statement? In C++, a line of code that contains a beginning and an ending is known as a programming statement. What does it mean? So it's something like, in simple language, we can say that in every line of your C++ language, just end it with semicolon. This is not true for for all of the case, but this is true for most of the case. For most of your code, just end it. You have to end it with semicolon. While for those exception, for example, if control structure, like while control structure, this is something we'll touch on in later phase. These are except for if or while, for example, if we have an if control structure, this line doesn't end with semicolon. This is a control structure. Or while control structure, this doesn't end with a semicolon as well. These are not considered. should be like this. So, but we'll touch on this later in our later course. This is some of the examples. You have to end your line with a semicolon. And let's skip this for now. Later you can do it in platform. And let's skip this for now also. Later you can fill it up in the classroom exercise section. Okay, let's introduce another magic. How about, what if you want to print out 2 lines of hello world? Not 2 lines of hello world, for example, hello world, and then the second line you want to print out your name. For example, my name is Samuel. So what will happen? You see, my name is not on the second line, it's on the same line as the first output section. But you say this is not a behavior you want. You want it to be in separate lines. So how can we achieve this? So add something called an end of line. And so you see my name will appear on the second line. This means end of line. So at the end of line, if you add this end of line thing at the end of your string of your output, then they will put an enter over here. So your string after that will appear in another line. So this is an example in our slides. For example, we wish to output Mickey Mouse, and then the second line will be Pui Pui. But then in this program, it doesn't work as expected. You see the Pui Pui and Mickey Mouse is on the same line. How to make it in separate lines? We can add a magic function called standard end line. Also, we can use \n to achieve the same thing. How about we add a \n here? Would it do the same thing? Yeah, it's the same thing. \n achieve the same thing as the standard end line function. So you can use either of these as you wish. And then not just \n, there are other special characters as well. For example, this \t. This is used to achieve tab functionality. Or how about \n? This is used to achieve to set it as a null. This is something more advanced. Maybe we'll touch on it in later course when we talk about string. And there is also backslash or single quotation mark and double quotation mark. And you can try it out yourself later in the playground. Okay. Next, let's talk about namespace. So what is a namespace? What does it try to achieve? For example, if you look at my program here, look at my program here. You see, it's very lengthy. Always I need to write this standard double colon thing. It's so troublesome. If I see we replicated this standard double colon thing 3 times. It's so troublesome. What if your program is really long? You have to type this standard double colon thing many times. So there's a shortcut for it. You can type using namespace std. And after that, after you write this code, you can safely remove your standard double colon and still it would work. See, it's working. But what if we remove this line? It throws error, doesn't work. What is telling? It is telling that cout was not declared in this scope. That means this program cannot understand what is cout. Where is cout from? They can understand because cout is from our standard library. You have to declare it explicitly like here. So one of the benefits of declaring this namespace thing is to make our life easier. We don't have to type so much. Always type this standard double colon thing. And sometimes we are human, we make mistakes, right? We make typo. So it's really troublesome if you always have to type this standard double colon thing. So this namespace make our life easier. Just declare it on the top of the line right after you import your libraries. And next time when your function is from the standard library, your program can recognize it. So initially namespace is providing a visibility scope to avoid naming conflicts. What does this mean? For example, so what if you are working with others, right? And we are working in a group, we are working in a team. So each of us, our program, has a function with the same name. But then we want to import the others program. Then what happened? There is a naming conflict. Our program cannot recognize two functions with the same name at the same time. So namespace come to the rescue. We give a namespace to our program, and other team members in the group give a namespace to their program as well. So when we are referring to the functions from others program, we refer it by true namespace. For example, when we are referring to the program cout from the other library, we refer it by their namespace. Their namespace is std. So if you can understand what I'm talking right now, because it's a bit abstract, try to read this explanation. This explain well. But what is the actual usage of namespace? And yeah. So take some time to read it up after the course if you can understand it right now. So using namespace always have to be used together. So this is fixed. Using namespace, just write it. And then standard will be your namespace name. For standard library, always is std. So actually you can memorize this. Always write this at the top of your program. Okay, just memorize it. Most of the time, we are always working with standard library namespace. And in this introductory course, always we will be using this standard library namespace. We won't be importing namespace from other libraries other than std. Okay. After we declare a namespace in C++, so in C++ we prioritize using the variable or context from the namespace std when the program is being executed. So before this, the first program we have seen, right? But then it's very lengthy. Always we have to write this std double colon. And then after we using namespace, we can safely remove the std double colon thing. And the program becomes much easier to look at and easier to read. So this little guy is explaining that after using namespace std, the cout command can be used without declaring the namespace anymore. Okay, let's get into something more serious. We are writing some serious program now. And in a serious program, we actually have to store some of our data in our program. But how can we achieve this? How can we store something in our program? Let's say we want to give student A marks 20, and you want to give a student B marks 50, and now you want to aggregate and calculate their mean marks. How can we achieve this? We have to assign our data to a data type, right? To a variable. This is called a variable. So here we are assigning 20 to a variable. Our variable names is student A here. Also in another case, we are assigning 50 to a variable. Our variable here is called student B. And what is a variable? So as you can see here, variable is something that is holding a number or holding a data. You see, our variable student A is holding a number 20. To be more specific, this is an integer. Student A is holding a data which is integer 20. So we give student A a type int, which stands for integer. So student A is holding 20 as integer data type, and student B likewise holding 50 as integer data type. And now we can do any logic processing we wish to do. For example, now you wish to calculate their mean. Means equal 20 plus 50 and divide by 2. After that, we wish to print it out, right? So we can print it out like this. Mean, and let's run our program. So it's telling that the mean is 35. So this is the concept of variable. Variable is something very, very important in programming. It's actually the core of this programming is to holding your data and processing your data. So this holding your data step is really important. So let's have a short introduction on data. What is a data? Data is any information in a computer that can be moved, processed, or stored, right? As you can see in my program just now, I store my data in the program, and then I process my data, and then I output my data. And each data has a value. It can be a number, text, images, audio, video, or any other format that can be processed by a computer or analyzed by a human. The value of data is stored in memory of a computer. So how can we keep track of the location of the specific data that is stored in the memory device? How can we keep track of this data? We keep track of it by referring to its name. So, for example, its name is student A or student B. We actually store this 20 into the memory device, but then how can we refer to it? We refer it by a variable with name. So this is the concept of variable. In C++, variable is a name storage location in computer memory. So I can store something into this variable. And this variable do all the stuff for you. They store your actual data into the memory and they retrieve it when you need it. So every time you use this variable, you just refer it by its name. So it's very simple to use a variable. You can store data inside this variable and you can easily retrieve it by referring to the name of this variable. So in our example, we are storing 20 into our variable. Our variable names is student A. And we have two variables here, student A and student B. Actually, more than that, we have three. The third one is called min. Min also is our variable. So there's a let's visualize it a bit. We are storing. So let's say this square is a memory location. We refer this memory location as A. And we are going to store number 3 into this memory location. So to make this into programming language, it is called integer A equal 3. This means we are assigning number 3 to a variable called A. And this variable A has a data type of integer. So we actually have many types of variable to store different types of data. For example, we have integer type, we have string type, we have floating point type. What is floating point? Floating point means in maths it is actually decimals number. So for integer, our data type is int, integer. For decimals, our data type is double. Double actually stands for double point precision, double precision point. This is something, a technical name for it in programming. You can look it up online for double precision. So, but just memorize this. Decimals has a data type of double. And for string has a data type of string. How can we declare a variable? It's very, very simple. Just write integer, your data type, your variable name, integer number, and then put a semicolon. Then you have declared a variable successfully. For example, here, I do more than that. I'm not just declaring a variable. I'm declaring a variable, and at the same time, I'm assigning a data to this variable. But also, I can declaring a variable first. Okay. So here this variable has no data at all. I declare it, but there is no data. I didn't store anything inside. I can store something inside later. Student C equal 1. So if you mix these two steps, then it looks like the above one. It becomes, if you mix these two, it will be integer student C equal 1. So in this case below, the name of the variable is number and the variable type is integer. So we have declared a variable called number with integer type. This is one of the questions in our problem sets. But let's get through it right now. Declaration of variable. The Cyclops wants to declare an integer variable named A. Which of the following is the correct way? First, a semicolon. This is not correct. Okay, we never talk about something like this. Variable and then semicolon. There is no data type in front, so this is not valid. So this is incorrect. Okay, incorrect. How about a integer? This is also incorrect. Why? Because the sequence is incorrect. The data type, here the data type is defined after, here A is not a data type. The beginning of this statement should be a data type. So this is incorrect. How about this? The third one is correct. A data type integer followed by a variable name. So this is correct. How about the fourth one? The fourth one is incorrect as well. It's because they're absolutely not declaring a variable. There too many things goes wrong in this statement. So let's call it X. Oh. Yeah. And how should we store data into a variable? Actually, I already demonstrated just now. First, you declare a variable and then you assign a number to it. How do we do assignment here? Assign by writing a symbol called equal, an equal symbol. This is assigning 5 to a variable number. This equal has different meaning from our maths in the maths concept, and in this programming, their meanings is different. In maths, equal means comparing, right? You are comparing, you are saying that number and 5 have the same value. In maths, you are comparing these two. But in C++, equal means assigning. We are assigning 5 to number. Then how do we do comparing in C++? It's just a side note. We do comparing by writing equal equal 5. Double equal is comparing. It's like this is like the equal in maths. But here in C++, to achieve equal in maths, we have to write double equal. While the normal equal means assigning. So there's a side note here. Single equal sign in C++ is not equivalent to your math symbol. It's a bit different. So the value on the right side will be placed into the variable on the left side. Also, you can do something like this. So how about we try it? Initialize it to 1 and then I print it out. And run. So there are a few methods, as you can see, there are a few methods to assigning a data to a variable. So this will be left as your exercise in the problem sets. You can do it later. And also this will be your exercise as well later. This will also be your exercise later. And let's talk a bit about verbal naming rules. So you are not allowed to use keywords as verbal. What does keywords means? So for example, integer is a keyword. You see it's being highlighted in blue color. Include is a keyword. Using is a keyword. Namespace is a keyword. Integer is a keyword. Return also is a keyword. So you are not allowed to name your variable using a keyword. You see if you name it integer, it will throw error. So it will throw error if you name your variable with a reserved keywords. And the first letter of a variable must not be a number. That means you cannot name your variable like one student. It is not allowed. It's not valid. And no spacing are allowed in a variable name. We can use underscore to indicate the spacing. So remember, while you are declaring a function, while you are declaring a variable, you are not allowed to use a space to separate your name. If you really want to have to separate your words, you can use underscore. Also, you're not allowed to use mathematical expression or any meaningful symbols. So don't use symbols in your variable. And you can use capital alphabet to differentiate two continuous words. For example, here, student A mark, total. So this is how you differentiate between continuous words. You can make some of the first letter capital letter, or alternatively, you can use underscore. Something like this. And that's all on today's lecture. On next lecture, we will touch on we'll talk about data type and input and debugging a program and a lot more. So stay tuned. And after the lecture, usually the first hour will be our lecture session, will peer lecture, which will be I myself talking. And on the second hour, we will be using the platform to solve some of the problem sets. I can actually see your real-time progress in my portal, in my admin site, in my teacher portal. So whenever you have questions, you can raise your hand. You can ask questions in this coding bar platform also. All our teachers will be able to monitor your progress. We can see your progress. We can see your real-time progress here. So for first week, for first chapter, we have given full access to you guys, full homework access, full problem sets access to you guys. But starting from next session, starting from next week, you actually have to subscribe to our platform's package to be able to access the exercise. But other than the exercise, you have full access to every other things. I mean, for every other things, you don't have to subscribe to the package. Just for the exercise, you have to subscribe to the package. Okay. This is just a short notice, and we'll talk more on the package later before we end. And now let's have a short break, like 5 minutes. And after that, after that, you can try to do your exercise here, and I can monitor your real-time progress. You can ask questions. And yeah, let's have a 5 minutes break. Zhiyan and Andy, anything you guys want to elaborate on?
Yeah, nothing. I think it goes well. It's going well. I think just keep it on.
Okay. And students, please remember to log into your platform right now. I can monitor your progress and yeah, try out our exercise. The most important part, like the most effective part to learn programming is to do exercise. You can learn programming by listening to me talking. It doesn't work like that. You have to do a lot of exercise. Okay. So please log into your platform and start doing exercise after this short break.
Samuel, I see some of the students already logged into our platform and started the exercise. Maybe we can do some live code debugging later. Yeah, you can go into exercise and monitoring the students' progress. I think, yeah, some of the students is encountering some problems.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Yeah, you can go to the exercise, then you'll see, yeah, some of the students I've saw, yeah, they're working on the exercise already.
Sure. That's great.
Yeah, later maybe we can choose some of the students to do some, yeah, live code debugging. It'll be interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm not sure all of the students know how to log into our platform or not. There, we already created a default account for you all. Yeah, if you register before, yeah, yesterday, so before the 12 o'clock yesterday, so everyone is already have an account, I think. Yep. So for the students, you have feel free to ask in the chat box here. We'll have assistants there to assist you. So for the students still, yeah, doesn't know how to log into the platform, you can, yeah, fix it out now. Or you can come to us, then we will, yeah, guide you how to log into our platform.
Hey guys, I think 5 minutes almost passed, so let's get started on our problem sets. So in my teacher portal, I can actually see your progress. A lot of students do it very well. 13 of you finish already. So let's see the first question. First question is asking you to change the underscore part to hello world. This has no problem, right? So most of the students pass and some haven't started yet. For these students, maybe you didn't click on submit, is it? If you click on submit, this should be successful. Oh, wait. Yeah, this should be successful. Okay, so I suppose most students has no problem with the first exercise. That's okay. So just a reminder, execute, like run and submit is different thing. So after you run, you have to, and you see that it is successful, remember to submit it. After you submit your answer, then you will appear here in the green check box thing. You will have a green check box, which means you pass this homework. And let's look at the second question. Second question is talking about complete a Siak syntax to print the characters in the question. Fill in the appropriate syntax in the blank space. So this is like something like fill in the blank. So for fill in the blank, you see what is being given is already your program is being imported, and already you have a main function. Already you have the string to be printed out. So now what is left is you just need to include the print out function. The print out function is from standard library, and then write this double colon thing, and then refer to your function called coutput. This is the correct answer. And after that, just submit your answer. Let's look at the third question. Third question is talking about regardless of the word of happen. So this third question, for this third question, you can print out anything and it will just pass. So yeah, just try to print out anything. This year, regard of the word. So here for these students, Chongji, you need to include this. Sorry, you need to include this before an L, and you will pass. And all other students do quite well. Oh, everyone passed on this. This is fairly simple. So good job. And everyone passed on this also. Oh, very good. So also everyone passed on this. Regarding, oh, you guys are doing well. Regarding integer a equal 10, which statement is incorrect? So the third statement is incorrect. So let's have a short explanation on this. Regarding integer a equal 10, which statement is incorrect? Data type is integer. This is correct. A is a memory space. This is also correct. As we have described just now, a variable is a memory space. A variable is a name to a memory space. So A is considered a memory space. So second also is true. How about third? It seems as 10 equal integer 8. This is very wrong. Too many things go wrong. So very obvious. The third one is incorrect. And the fourth one, the contents of A can be changed. This is also correct. So for example, we have integer answer equal 42. We can actually mutate it. We can change it. Answer, we can change it to answer equal 43. This is allowed. This is allowed. So the fourth is correct. The only incorrect one is third. Same. So everyone did well. How about the seventh question? Cyclops designed a function to calculate the sum from 1 to 14. Please help him complete the program to output the correct content. Whoa, this guy did very well. He's using for loop to print out the answer. This is something we'll touch on in the later course. And this is our default template. If you click on, usually you can if you click on fill in the blanks button in your screen, there is a fill in the blanks button. If you click on it, so you will be given this script and you just need to fill in the blank. So these are the fill in the blanks templates. And okay, let's demonstrate it, how you can trigger the fill in the blanks button. Here, let me log out first to a student portal, to log in into my student portal. So click on the seventh question, right? See, initially, maybe what you see is just empty, right? You can actually click on fill in the blanks. If you click on this, now you just have the basic template is being given. The basic program is already being provided. You just enter your answer here. So the answer is 105. Just enter 105 and run. Yep. And after you run it and verify that your answer is correct, don't forget to submit. After this is submitted, you can see your result. And you can click on next exercise. Okay. I'm going back to my teacher portal. So this question is about Cyclops designed a program that records the value of X and Y, but it seems like he missed some statements. Please help him complete the program so it can produce the correct output. Open the fill in the blank, modify, and press submit. Okay. So this is the basic template after you click on the fill in the blank. And then what should you do? Oh, this is not, we haven't touched on this yet. C-in. This is for the next class. C-in stands for C input. This is for us to input something. What? Like input your keyboard signal, right? Like you can type on your keyboard. Basically, you can type on your keyboard, and this will be read by your program. So the answer for this is they want to read X and Y, right? So already here they are reading X. So on the next line, you can write basically the same thing, but reading for Y. And that will be the answer. So this will be the answer. Also, so this student do quite well also. You see, you can actually merge these two lines. These two lines, you can merge it into one line. You can read your character consecutively from keyboard. Yeah. Oh, for Jaden, you are so you can click on you don't have to write X and Y by yourself. You shouldn't give X and Y a fixed number. You can click on fill in the blank and you will see this template and fill in the blank with C in. Okay. But don't worry, for C in, we will touch on C in on next weekend. But for question 9 also has something to do with C in. But you can ignore this for now, actually, this question, because we haven't touched on C in yet. So what is this question about? Cyclops wants to create a program that can print a mysterious number. Can you help him complete his task? The user first enters an arbitrary integer, then the system prints that number. Basically, this question is about reading a number from user input from keyboard and then print it out. So this is fairly simple. Well done to everyone who did this, who already completed this. But if you haven't completed this, don't worry. We'll cover more on this next weekend. Get line C in number. Technically you can do so, but it's a bit more advanced for our need. So get line is for reading a string. We will cover this in our later course when we talk about string. Yeah. I think that's all. Most of us done well. Everyone get a correct answer on this. So well done. That's all for our first session. And before we end, let me talk about our package. So starting from next session, the home you have to subscribe to our package to access the homework and classroom exercise. But other than that, the full 2-hour session is free for you to listen. The subscription package is just for accessing these exercises. That's all. It's just for the exercise. So the subscription package is a one-off subscription. It's 99 per person. If you come with 3 person, it's 270. And it's a really cheap price. We give it out in like it's almost the cost price. So it's the cheapest price we can give. And you'll be able to get 10 ringgit early bird discount if you register earlier. So what would you get by subscribing to this package? So you will get access to all coding practices. What are coding practices? Basically, is this classroom. And you have a discussion zone, which in each of these questions, you can actually ask, you can ask questions. So in our teacher portal, you are able to see your questions. And we have AI online tutor here. I'm not sure where is it. Maybe later our other teachers can elaborate more on this. Also, you have access to our teaching assistants, PDF notes, and online sessions. But actually, even if you are not subscribing, still you will get some of our notes as well, and you will get the free 2-hour lessons every week for free as well. And still you will have access to this platform even if you are not subscribing. You can use this playground as well. The difference between subscribing and not subscribing is just about whether you can access this exercise. Other than that, it's all the same. Okay, you are subscribing for exercise, and after you subscribe, you can ask questions about exercise. That's all about it. And I invite maybe Ziyuan to elaborate more on this if you wish.
Okay, hi everyone. So from next week onwards, we'll be separated into 2 sessions. So the first sessions will be focused on the knowledge delivering. So the second session will be focused on problem solving. So of course, the subscription of the platform exercises will not affect your right to join our 2 hours class. The only difference, if you subscribe and or didn't subscribe to our platform, the only difference is the access of the exercises, because we have more than 200 coding practices on our platform to serve you. So as we all know, for coding, you will not get improved if you didn't get enough practice on it. Okay, so first, the privileges of subscribe to our platform is you have more than 200 coding practices for you, and we'll have discussion zone, which means when when it is not our course time, when you are practicing yourself at home, you are able to ask questions online, and our backend teacher will get the questions and get back to you as soon as possible. And we'll have artificial intelligence online tutor as well to help you to debugging. So which will be introduced in our platform next week. So of course, it will be another privilege is you will be having TA's personal PDF notes for you, okay, which will be broadcast to all of our subscribers. So if you subscribe the exercises from now before 21st May, you will get 10 ringgit early bird discount. Okay, so if you buy in 3 packs, because some of you join the competition in a team, by 3 packs you get extra discount also. So but this subscription is not mandatory, it's up to you. It's not mandatory. So if you wish to improve, to practice more, you can subscribe to our exercises, and all of our exercises are filtered. Okay, a filter, because if you go to free online resource, of
Ziyuan, you lost connection.
Hi, is it clear?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so let me explain again in Mandarin because some of the students here maybe yeah, more familiar to Mandarin, right? 一些同学，其实我们也知道 coding，其实你要进步，你是需要很大量的练习。那当然，因为我们今天第一堂课有给你们去体验我们的平台的题目，还有平台的一些福利。那从下个礼拜开始，我们的课程会是这样进行的，会是1个小时前面我们会是教课不变，那另外第2个小时我们会 focus 在解题目。那一样2个小时你们都可以参与，都是全部免费的。那唯一有没有 subscribe 我们平台的差别是，因为今天你们看这个题目就只有第一个 chapter 而已，接下来每个 chapter 的题目你是需要是可能要 subscribe 才能解锁。那唯一差别就是我们的题目大概会有200多题，然后我们的题目的好处就是我们会有在线的老师，假设你在回家解题的，一般你可以直接在题目那边发问，我们 back end 的老师会回复你。然后我们也有一些 AI 就是人工智能的一些 online tutor 会帮你做一些 debug 之类，然后我们还有 TA 会帮你做一些笔记给你们。所以其实这个不是强迫性的，这个是看你们个人。如果因为我们学程式，我们也知道只是听你不会进步，你可能要练习。那当然其他平台有很多免费的，那你们可以自己去筛选，因为这些题目这200多题都是经过我们 Coding Bar 精心筛选给你们来参加这次比赛的。所以不过算是基础的课程啊，这些是基础的题目或你们基础的课程。那你们可以考虑之后选择看要不要 subscribe 这个题目，不是强迫性的啊我在这边再讲一遍。那当然，你们在这3天内，你们如果 subscribe 的话，可以享有一些早鸟优惠啦，10块钱。那如果因为有些 team 你们是3个人一起组队嘛，对不对？那你们要一起subscribe 3个账号的话，我们当然会有额外的一些折扣啦，270。那一个人是99，那这相对来说其实是蛮便宜啦。其实你们去外面的一些 online resource 自己去看一些题目的解说，那基本上200多题，大概是我们精心筛选过，不会有这种价格，因为这个是因为提供给 NSPC 的参赛者们而已。所以参赛者们，你们基本上都是要是有报名才能去 subscribe 这个 package 的，如果不是参赛者的话是不能的。我们这个只 provide 给这次的参赛者而已。那大家有什么问题都可以在WhatsApp group，或者说可以 DM 我们，或者说现在你也可以发问，OK。然后我们的赵会长有什么想要分享的吗？
哎哎，听到吗？
听到听到听到。
是，呃，谢谢 c o d i n 吧，谢谢志远哦，志远也是我们的台大很优秀的一个学弟啊。OK，这个课程呢，同学们他那个进阶哈、付费的那个是没有强迫性的了哈、如果觉得需要是可以的。那另外老师们也可以透过这个平台哈、让学生进阶式的练习。当然还有很多免费的平台可以继续练习了。那我相信学校的一个电脑教学也有蛮多参考书可以去参考。那总归一句，所有的学习的过程练习是最重要的哈。那你不管去哪里拿到一个题目来做都可以。那在我们 NSSPC 的那个网站哦，这个官网也有过去的一些历史题目。那如果学生觉得差不多了哈，也可以把那些题目导入来做一个练习，这样子。好，非常谢谢 Coding 吧哈。那下礼拜也是同样的时间嘛哈，让
对，同样的时间9点到11点，所以这里再补充一点是，基本上不管你有没有 subscribe 这个平台的题目，都不影响你们学习的权益。你们现在已经开通给你们的账号，你们都是可以免费使用，然后你们还是可以登录，然后还是可以去使用我们的平台做一些程式码的一些练习之类。那现在已经开放给你们的题目，也不会撤掉，也都会在那里，所以基本上是没有变的，大家的权益。对。
还有补充一点，这个录影呢 c o d i n 吧也会放在 YouTube，然后我们的那个 NSSPC 的平台那个官网也会有一个链接。 那同学呢，根据这个课程也可以反复练习，比如说可能上到第3堂课还是不是很了解，可以反复的从头再开始。那这边我也呼吁同学还有老师们可以让其他的学生还来得及 join 进来，因为我们都是一直在开放的那他也可以从头听这个看这个录影，然后自己做练习可以希望大家都可以 catch up 来享受这个多一个语言那现在我们是用华语沟通，也用英语沟通然后未来的日子尤其现在年轻的一代都跟机器沟通的那个机会会完全多过我们这一辈人那希望同学利用这样子的一个机会，多学多一种语言跟机器沟通。好，谢谢。
然后关于今天的课程，基本上我们会因为是第一堂课，我们会做一个简单的 Google Form 调查一下大家 feedback，看有什么回馈啊，比如说教学的一些过程中，或者说一些语言问题，我看这边蛮多的华校生。OK，那都欢迎 feedback 给我们，我们下个礼拜会再做调整。OK，所以如果大家我们还有5分钟的时间，那有问题可以欢迎在 Facebook 的 chat box 发问。So if any students you have any questions, please feel free to ask in the Facebook live chat box. OK，我们的这个 live 应该会在11点准时关掉。Live chat box。哦，对，这边顺便宣传一下，大家如果 OK 现在有时间，可以去追踪我们 Instagram、我们 Facebook，或者有问题可以直接 DM 我们的 WhatsApp，还有去我们的 website official website for more details 啦。OK，那我们 Instagram 也会不时的 post 一些对有趣的内容给你们。赵学长有一个不知道是学生还是老师写，all of us is expected to join the competition，因为照理说应该是有报名了 competition 才会进来到这个课程，对吧？
是的，
对，所以有一个 Joanne，我不知道是不是学生还是他是讲英文的，so I'm not sure Joanne you are a student or teachers. So no, basically, we are expected all the participants, all of the students here are participants because you have to register for the competition first before joining this live teaching session. Yeah. So if possible, can you let us know where you're from? Yeah, and where do you know the link? Yeah, and the live session for today. Why is the question also in Chinese? The question is in English, right? Yeah, maybe some of the word is in Chinese, but we will modify it. But the main content is in English. Okay, you know both English and Chinese. Well, okay. So where do you know us from? If you are not joining NSPC competition. Okay. Okay, you are joining this competition. Wow. Okay. So 我们今天现场多了一位参赛者，原本不是参赛的，参加这堂课程变成参赛了。Okay. So okay, Joanne, see you in the final round. Hope to see you in the final round. Okay. So I think 2 more minutes. So any further questions? 有人还有问题吗？可能还有2分钟可以发问。基本上不用害羞，都可以发问在 chat box 那里。 因为人数很多，其实我们也不会认得你是谁，基本上 OK，所以不用害羞。可能有些老师有问题，那也可以直接发问。那基本上我们这个 basic class 呀会持续12堂课，12个礼拜，12个周末。OK，所以希望在这12个周末里可以帮助大家从very beginner 去到对 C 加加有一定的认识，甚至是可以游刃有余啦。希望等等我们 upload 到 YouTube 之后的观看数会变高一点，因为早上可能很多人醒不来，周末刚刚的 views 大概在30左右。不过在练习题目的人，我看见有20多了，有25个左右，在我们的 back end 的统计。对 Okay, so I think that's all for today. Yeah, so see you guys in next week. 大家好，我们大概今天到这里，有问题可以在 WhatsApp 继续发问。那我们下礼拜见，同样的时间9点到11点。OK，那如果有兴趣subscribe 我们的平台的题目，那觉得我们平台可以帮到你，那欢迎来 subscribe。在这3天内，我们已经给出蛮大的优惠了。那当然 online 也有很多免费的资源，如果你觉得真的是适合你啦，这些200多题都是我们精心有挑选过的，for 你们。所以大家，我们今天就到这里，我们下礼拜见。
Yep, see you guys next week. Bye bye.
谢谢大家。
谢谢。可以关了，安迪。